Are you a little bit disappointed that this week Ilia didn't seem to want to have anything to do with you?
I mean, I didn't want to mention too much Ilia because I was focused on my fight. But after today, I'm gonna try to again create some crazy videos that are gonna be viral and try to make a joke, you know, and to bring a lot of eyes for that fight because it's like a media sport too, you know. You gotta be a good fighter and a good showman. Hopefully on Tuesday they announce that fight and me fighting main event with Topuria when it's gonna be in Vegas or in Los Angeles. So I'm ready. I gotta take that chance and I have pretty time to get ready. In my mind go like I can strike with him on the long distance, but whenever he wants to try like to box me and to throw his hard punch, at that moment I'm gonna shoot and take him down. So and I believe myself and I know I can beat him so easy as well.
Arman Tsarukyan just dominated Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar, and he's sending a crystal clear warning message to UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria. But here's where it gets spicy. Topuria fired back hard on social media, and this rivalry is heating up fast. UFC Qatar went down this past Saturday at the Ali bin Hamad Al Attiyah Arena in Doha, and the main event was absolutely stacked. We had the #1 ranked lightweight contender, Arman Tsarukyan, taking on the dangerous Dan Hooker in what many considered a title eliminator bout.
Tsarukyan, and he submits the hangman. Tsarukyan is back in contention.
Now, Tsarukyan was coming off a long layoff. Remember, he was supposed to fight Islam Makhachev for the title back at UFC 311 in January, but a back injury on weigh-in day forced him out of that fight. That had to be devastating for him. Since then, he's been itching to get back in the octagon and prove he's the rightful #1 contender. And boy, did he prove it. From the opening bell, Tsarukyan looked absolutely world-class. Hooker tried switching stances early, showing some different looks, but Arman's strength, athleticism, and technique were just on another level. He mixed his striking with his grappling beautifully, keeping Hooker guessing the entire fight. In the second round, Tsarukyan secured a full mount, and from there, it was game over. He locked in a nasty arm triangle choke, and Hooker had no choice but to tap out at 2 minutes and 34 seconds of round 2. This was a statement win, folks. Tsarukyan looked every bit like a future champion, and he wasn't done making statements yet. Now here's where things get really interesting. Immediately after the fight, with Michael Bisping standing right there, Arman Tsarukyan wasted absolutely no time calling out Ilia Topuria. And get this, Topuria was actually at the event. He was there, cornering his brother Aleksandre, who also won his fight in the prelims. Tsarukyan looked directly at the camera and said, "Everybody's running, especially Ilia. There's just one #1 contender, it's Arman Tsarukyan. Don't make an easy fight. I'm ready. End of January. Just send me the contract. I'll be there."
Yeah, just only guy who wanted to fight me. Everybody's run out, especially Ilia. If you're here, come on. Yeah, we got a face on. There is just one contender, number one, it's Arman Tsarukyan. Don't make an easy fight.
Talk about putting the pressure on. But wait, there's more. At the post-fight press conference, Arman got even more specific about his game plan for Topuria. He said, and I quote, "I can strike with him from a long distance, but when he wants to try to box me and throw his hard punch, I'm going to shoot and take him down. I believe in myself, and I know I can beat him so easily. So easy." Those are fighting words right there.
In my mind goes like I can strike with him on the long distance, but when he wants to try like to box me and throw his hard punch, at that moment I'm gonna shoot and take him down. So, and I believe myself, and I know I can beat him so easy as well.
Now, what I found really interesting is that Tsarukyan also clarified that despite all the back and forth, there's actually nothing personal between him and Topuria. He said it's all media, all hype, and they're just trying to build the fight. He even mentioned that they were near each other during fight week, but didn't really interact. Arman said if they had real personal beef, they would have taken care of it by now. But let me tell you, Ilia Topuria definitely took it personally when he saw these callouts. So after all of Tsarukyan's callouts and comments about Topuria allegedly ducking him, El Matador had enough. He jumped on X, formerly Twitter, and absolutely let Arman have it. Topuria tweeted, "And this is savage. Arman, every time we see each other in person, you freeze up like a scared duck with no idea what to do. You know I handle you however I want. I fight whoever the UFC chooses. And remember I slapped you and you just laughed. Then you went around acting like a gangster. So keep going. You're on the right path. Just a few levels below me, kid." Wow! First of all, did Topuria really slap Tsarukyan at some point? That's news to a lot of us. And calling him a scared duck and saying he's a few levels below, that's the kind of trash talk that gets fights made. People. What's clear here is that Topuria is not backing down from Tsarukyan's accusations that he's running or ducking him. He's making it very clear that he'll fight whoever the UFC puts in front of him, but he's also questioning whether Arman has what it takes to hang with him. This is the kind of rivalry that makes the lightweight division so exciting right now. Both of these guys are elite fighters. They both believe they're better than the other, and they're not afraid to say it publicly. Now let's talk about what all this means for the lightweight championship picture, because it's pretty complicated right now. First off, Ilia Topuria won the vacant lightweight title back in July at UFC 317 by knocking out the legendary Charles Oliveira. That was after Islam Makhachev vacated the belt to move up and capture the welterweight championship by beating Jack Della Maddalena. So Topuria is the new king at 155 pounds, but he hasn't defended that belt yet.
Well, he's already busted up.
Oh!
Out cold.
A man of his word!
Oh my goodness.
And now
He called
the new...
On paper, Arman Tsarukyan has the strongest case for the next title shot. He's ranked number 1, he's on a 5-fight win streak, he's gone 10-1 in his last 11 fights, and he just demolished a top-ranked contender in Dan Hooker. His only loss in recent years was back in June 2022. By every metric, he should be next in line. But, and this is a big but, there are other names being thrown around. Paddy Pimblett is lobbying hard for a title shot. He beat Michael Chandler at UFC 314 and even confronted Topuria in the cage after his title win. Pimblett thinks the storyline is already built in and he should get the fight.
All right, thank you, boys.
Justin Gaethia's name has also been mentioned as a potential opponent for Topuria. And of course, there's always the possibility of a super fight with Islam Makhachev somewhere down the line, though that would likely be at welterweight now. Arman made it clear he's ready to fight as early as January when the UFC kicks off their new Paramount broadcast deal. He says he didn't take any damage against Hooker, and he'd only need a week of rest before starting a full training camp.
Everyone's making a big deal regarding Islam Makhachev's his physique. What do you guys make of this? Is this changing your opinion on the fight? Is this making you think that he's got a better chance at beating Jack Della? We have the footage, right, of him walking around. We've shown it a couple times. Yeah, there's Usman, and here's old Islam. Here's your man Islam PT. What do you make of this? Everyone going crazy over this 5-second clip.
Yeah, I mean, he's beefed up, isn't he? But I expected him to be. Like, he's emaciated at 155. I think most people are making a thing about it, like, you know, the creatine thing. I think that's why it's a big deal. Oh, I just started taking creatine and now I'm...
Now then, so hold him. Hold him. Huh?
And I checked the idiot through the city. This was that. Right.
Islam Makhachev sends a clear warning message to JDM ahead of UFC 322. The former lightweight king isn't just confident, he's calculated, focused, and already planning his welterweight legacy. This Saturday at Madison Square Garden, we're witnessing history. Islam Makhachev, the most dominant lightweight champion ever, steps up to challenge Jack Della Maddalena for the welterweight title. But here's what's crazy. Makhachev is bringing the same elite talent with new energy, and he's not holding back on his plans for the future.
Weekend, it is potentially one of the greatest pay-per-view fight cards of the year. UFC 322, going down in New York, Madison Square Garden. It is always a fabulous fight card from top to bottom, and this one is no different. This might be one of the very best fight cards of the year. Of course, 2 title fights in the main event at the top of the bill, but all the way down on the early prelims, we've got tremendous fights.
In this video, we're breaking down Islam's warning to JDM, his transformation at welterweight, and exactly who he wants next after UFC 322. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the warning Makhachev just sent to the champion. At the UFC 322 pre-fight news conference, Islam was asked where Jack Della Maddalena ranks among his toughest opponents. His response, brutally honest. Quote, "This is the biggest fight in my life. Biggest test in New York in Madison Square Garden. He's in the top 3. He's one of the best who I've fought because he's a champion. UFC champion means you are a high-level fighter."
This is, I told you, this is biggest fight in my life. Biggest test, you know. And like here in New York, in Madison Square Garden, it's gonna be hardest test, but I'm ready, you know.
But then came the warning. I saw his wrestling, his defense. If somebody takes him down, it's not like he's surprised. He feels good there. I know my skills are better.
No, not because of he bigger guy, because he is good, you know. He is good. I saw his fight with Bilal, with many guys. He is good everywhere, but I believe, you know, he is good in, yes, he's striking like pretty good, but I saw his wrestling, he can defend, his grappling, he like feel, if somebody take him down, it's not like something's, he's surprised, you know, he feel good also there, but I know my skill is better.
That last line, I know my skills are better, that's not trash talk. That's a champion who studied every angle and knows exactly where this fight is going. And it gets even more savage. Della Maddalena has been talking about avenging his teammate Aleksandre Volkanovski's 2 losses to Makhachev. Islam's response? Alex also tried to get it back from the first fight. The second fight was not good for him. That's why it's not a good idea.
This fight was announced. He said he wants to get it back for Alex. What's your response to that?
Yeah, Alex also tried to get back from the first fight, and second fight's not good for him. That's why it's a not good idea.
Brutal. That's a reminder that Makhachev didn't just beat Volkanovski once, he beat him twice. And the second fight was even more dominant. The message is crystal clear. JDM might be riding an 18-fight win streak, but Saturday night at Madison Square Garden, that streak faces its biggest threat.
Jack Della Maddalena, 9-2.
You actually started your MMA career 0-2, and I believe you were fighting as a middleweight at the time, and you made a pact with your coach saying you're going to win your next 10 as a welterweight and you're going to make it to the UFC.
It seemed like a massive goal at that stage to get 10 wins in a row, but we just slowly worked at it and made it happen.
Is there any part of you that's like, I don't know, maybe I'm not cut out for this, maybe I shouldn't do this, you know, this isn't, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You definitely have like a little bit doubt in your head thinking maybe this isn't the sport for me. If I had have gone 0-3, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. So it's just a matter of getting that first win.
10-2, baby. 10-2.
Jack, or should I say Giacomo Della Maddalena, 7-0 in the UFC and 17 straight wins for the budding welterweight contender.
Now here's where things get really interesting, because we might be seeing the best version of Islam Makhachev we've ever witnessed. The reason? Simple. He's no longer killing himself to make 155 pounds. Islam revealed something incredible to ESPN. My life changed. When I changed the weight division all my life, I had to think about what I eat. Now I can eat whatever I want and smile.
My life is changed, you know. When I changed the weight division, my life is changed. Always, like all my life, I have to think what I'm gonna eat, what I have to eat for the dinner, you know. Now I can enjoy my camp, eat like whatever I want, and just smile and training.
Think about that. The most dominant lightweight champion in UFC history was operating at less than 100% because of brutal weight cuts. During fight week, the difference is night and day. Makhachev said, "I smile all week. Before I remember Monday and Tuesday, I have no energy, always thinking, where are you going to eat? How much are you going to eat? What is your weight? But not now. I feel much different. All training camp, I enjoyed my camp, training with the big guys, and I feel more energy."
I don't feel much. I cut weights and like my energy go down, something like that.
All right. And throughout the build up to this, you said that for your legacy, you have to win a second title. Why is that? Just because so many others have won belts in 2 divisions, or is it just a personal goal that you've had and something that you feel you need to?
Because I thought like many times about the second belt. You know, I did my job in lightweight, like defend more than everybody and like fight in the big events. But now it's the good time to move, you know. And I know I am deserve to fight for the second belt.
This isn't just about being more comfortable. This is about a complete physical transformation. Makhachev dedicated an entire training camp just to building muscle mass and putting on size. Then he went into another full camp training exclusively with bigger welterweight-sized opponents. He even joked, "I can wrestle with Khabib now because he is also very big."
Man, I just want to tell everybody I can fight with anybody in the like striking, grappling, wrestling, because I'm not just grappler. I can strike. I strike with Dustin, with Volk, you know. He can defend my wrestling, but I will strike and I will try to take him down again, you know. This is not striking match or grappling match. This is MMA fight.
Same elite grappling, same suffocating pressure, same fight IQ, but now with the physical advantages of a natural welterweight. That's the nightmare scenario for Jack Della Maddalena. He's not facing a drained lightweight moving up. He's facing a renewed champion operating at peak capacity for the first time in years. All right, so Islam wins on Saturday. Then what? Well, Makhachev didn't just show up to win a second belt and call it a day. He's got a legacy plan, and it's ambitious as hell. When asked about his goals after UFC 322, Islam laid it out plainly. Win the second belt, defend it, maybe more than Kamaru, and to become Hall of Fame, that's it. Wait, more than Kamaru Usman?
And welterweight, someone wanted to ask.
After Jack?
Yeah, after Jack.
After Jack, I think.
Bilal?
Not Bilal. Kamaru. Kamaru Usman. He had like most title defense in welterweight. Now he's in good position. Which number here, I don't know.
For those who don't know, Kamaru Usman defended the welterweight title 5 times over nearly 2 years. He beat Colby Covington twice, Jorge Masvidal twice, Gilbert Burns, and Tyron Woodley to win the belt originally. That's one of the most dominant title reigns in UFC history.
Islam Makhachev is the favorite to defeat Jack Della Maddalena. Now, I know I didn't just tell you something that's a surprise to you. I'll just share for you. Islam, according to my partners at DraftKings, is the favorite and has always been the favorite. It is never hedged. The line has never dipped to beat Jack. But there is never a time that I can't go and look at a headline and have to hear how the advantage